it's Rob here with a look behind the scenes. It's Badass Overtime, giving you a chance to listen in to Sven's conversation with his guests after the show.
Eric, it's great to have you back. I want to ask you a question. What for you, in the time that we've spent together today, you and me, what for you was the biggest surprise in all of this, or epiphany? Either one.
It wasn't necessarily a surprise. I'd say more so the epiphany of, oh my fucking God, okay. You're a lot more permissive of a few people's opinions than you ought to be.
And how does it feel to know? How does it feel to know? Give me a feeling word. How does it feel to know that a few people own you in such a powerful way? People that, often case, you don't even know their thoughts of you fucking own you. Give me a feeling word. How does that feel?
A little foolish. I mean, I've permitted it, you know.
And for what it's worth, Eric, I've got so many listeners who struggle so much in their love lives, raising their children, in their careers, in their own body image, suffering from this same sort of feeling foolish or living in that fear of what others think and how much it controls their life. What do you feel like for you would be necessary in order to reduce that? What do you think it would require for you to no longer allow that to be such a power? I mean, we all feel that to some degree, to be such a powerful presence and driver in your life, what other people think of you. What would it require?
I would have to say it would require first of all, getting back into the writing aspect of it. Because when I tell you I shied away from it, I mean, it felt like, we've all seen The Exorcist. It felt like not physical bile, but metaphorical bile was just about to come up. The spade was about to upheave that huge ass rock. And the closer I dug down to it, the more the nerve endings caught fire. So I was like, oh, fuck. I don't want to do this right now. And then right now became a month and a half.
Could you ever be genuinely okay and accepting, while it wouldn't necessarily feel good, could you ever, to some degree, apart from the, fuck them, but could you ever, do you think, reach the point where, at least to some degree, you could accept the fact that not everyone's going to like you and some people are going to look down on you? Do you think you could ever, is it possible to ever accept that?
I accept it in a general sense a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. When it's, people just want to be helpful. People don't know. People genuinely, they have no idea. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to, for instance, something I'm trying to get into, say you're trying to make connections, you're trying to get out there and make connections in whatever industry you're trying to go into. And those people you're trying to make connections with, you've got to slog through so much of that bit of, do you want to touch my face? No. Do you want to touch my dick? I don't know where your hands have been. You don't know where mine has been. So no. You've got to slog through so much of that stereotyping. And it just gets tiresome after a while. If I'm spending an exorbitant amount of time around you, or at least an evening around you, and I'm constantly being badgered with assumptions instead of questions, you can ask as many questions as you like. I don't care.
Right.
Making assumptions right. On the other hand.
Yeah, that's a different thing. Let me ask you this. Last question, or second to last question, and it's simply this. You know from reading my book that I am very much of the belief that every day of our lives, life is whispering two questions in our ear. Who the fuck are you really? And do you have the courage to be who the fuck you really are? When, Eric, do you have the courage to just fucking be you? And quit fucking worrying about the naysayers' voices. Quit fucking worrying about justifying your degree or justifying any other goddamn thing. When do you have the balls to just fucking put yourself out there in whatever industry it is and just full and unabashedly just be you and accept that there are always going to be fucking idiots in the world. Okay, fine. But at what point do you have the balls to put yourself out there and live large? Because the truth is, whether you believe in God or universe or fate or whatever, you were created to be this way. And you can play as if it's a deficit or as if this is the exact confluence. And who's the fucking physicist? Tyson Grass or whatever.
DeGrasse Tyson.
Thank you. This fucker said that basically if you run the numbers on genetics and the amount of permutations of genetics, it would have to be like 1 trillion years before running the numbers on genetics, there could be someone identical to you.
Oh, yeah.
And so what that means is that you, by, if nothing else, sheer chance, are the only unique you that will ever exist. And you're seeing it as a fucking deficit, or you are allowing other people's maybe seeing it as a deficit to influence you just fucking being you. When are you going to have the fucking balls to just fucking be Eric, the precise way you are? What the fuck would it take for you to just fucking be you, boy?
Back up. That sounds horrible. It does. That sounds absolutely
not
awful.
Fucking horrible. Because you think the real you is fucking no good. Horrible, the idea of being you? What's the horrible part?
No, what I'm saying, the idea of backup, the idea that, you need people to back you up in this for you to actually open yourself up. No, you don't.
You need to believe that you have worth, and you were taught by mom and by dad you don't have worth. And fuck you, we're going to use you, and we're going to abandon you, and fuck you. And that's the fucking pain that you got to get out, and the core beliefs you got to get out of you if you haven't, because it is holding down, it is holding back a massive talent and a massive passion, and you are allowing them to still run your fucking lives. So the final question I have for you is simply this. What are you feeling right now? Feeling worse.
Uncertainty.
I'm going to put that as a head thing. That's not a feeling. Give me a fucking feeling.
Giddy.
Giddy is a happy feeling. Why are you feeling giddy?
Because this is the kick in the ass that I need, quite frankly.
And isn't it fascinating that the kick in the ass feels good because it's kicking you in the ass of the direction of being/doing what?
Getting out the fucking reasons why I'm permitting myself to hold myself back.
That's shit. Exactly right.
This is what.
If you're half the talent you fucking claim to be, then fucking have the balls to live large. And if you're going to fail, just fucking fail being you. Don't succeed being a goddamn fucking imitation. Fuck that shit. I fucking swear on this show. Do you know how much shit I eat every week because fucking people say, oh, you swear and all this? My favorite line, you'll love this. My favorite line that I say to people, I look at their picture on their profile. If it's, some older gal, even older than me, or maybe my age, and I'll look, if I can determine their age, and they're getting on me over my swearing. I like this line. I'll say to them, now, when you were a child, did you actually aspire to be Harriet Olsen, or did that just sort of happen? Now, Harriet Olsen is a cultural reference from my day. She was the fucking crotchety old bag on fucking Little House on the Prairie. Yeah. Okay, so my point is, every day, I just have decided of my life, and I lived on with the homeless on the streets for 2.5 years. People thought I was fucking nuts. But I decided, fuck it, I'm just going to fucking be me. Well, now all those little disparate threads that didn't work weave together, all those things that look crazy to people, all of those things where I was eating shit from family, from friends, from everyone, now all of those things weave together. People look at my fucking resume now and they're like, oh my God, you've done all this stuff. It's so cool. It's so incredible. I said, nobody said that shit back then, except for Todd Renz and Lisa Louise. Nobody said, and my one brother, nobody said that shit back then. But I just decided to fucking live me. And now all of those things are my greatest assets because I'm able to speak to this, because I'm able to understand fear of homelessness, because I'm able to understand what suicide is, because I've been there. So if you just being you and trust that the tapestry is fucking weaving together, even if you can't see how it's being woven together, do you have the courage to simply fucking be you, Eric? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Fucking A right. Fucking A right. Eric, you're great. Thank you so much for being on this show.
You.
Pleasure was ours.
Yes, very much.
All right. Bye-bye now.
You got it, man.
That's it. Join us for new counseling episodes every Thursday and lightning rounds every Sunday.
Thanks for listening to Badass Overtime. Now go out and slay some demons and have a kick-ass day.